Sometimes a parcel drawing will simply become too cluttered with bearings and distances and other labels. A table is a great way to clean up a drawing and place all that information in a nice, orderly arrangement. This video shows how that's done with area labels. So if we take a look at our drawing, we see that we've got a series of area labels that shows the parcel number and the area in acres. What if we took all of these acreages and took them out of the drawing area and moved them into a table off to the side? That would help to clean up our drawing a bit. Now to get started, we need to take away all these acreages, and we'll do that by changing the area label style of all these parcels. Now if you remember back from a few videos ago, I showed you a trick to select and modify a bunch of parcels at once, and I'll do that again. I'll go to Prospector and find my parcels collection. And if I select it, it'll list all of the parcels in this table in the bottom. So I'll start by sorting them by area label style, and you can see the little indicator triangle shows that they're already sorted. And that allows them to be grouped by area label style. And what I'm interested in doing is changing all these that have this parcel number and acres style to something called number only. So I start by picking the first one in the group, and then I'll scroll down and pick the last one in the group while holding the shift key. And I've in effect selected all of the parcels that have this particular area label style. Now I can right click the column heading, pick edit, and change it to whatever I choose, in this case number only. And when I click OK, you'll see all of the area labels change to this number only style. If I zoom in a bit, you can see exactly the result. So it's a nice clean way just to show what the parcel numbers are without showing any additional information. So now how do I create the table? Well, that's pretty easy to do. I'm just going to bring up the contextual ribbon by clicking one of the parcels, and that takes me to this Add Tables drop-down, which, because I've selected a parcel, it gives me only parcel tables as selections. Now if I were to just escape and not select anything in the drawing, I could go to the Annotate tab, click the Add Tables drop-down, and that gives me every type of table possible. And from here I could go to Parcel and choose from my 4 choices. Either way works just fine. I've kind of gotten in the habit of using the contextual ribbon tabs whenever possible. I think it's very efficient. So I'll select the parcel, go to Add Tables, and in this example we're going to do an area table, so I'll launch that option. We'll choose the style for our table. Just like anything else, style controls a lot about a table object. For this example, we use a style called number and area. And now we need to tell Civil 3D which parcels to include in the table. And we can do that by manually selecting the parcels using this pick button, but that's not very efficient. So what if we did it by style? Well, we already know that we want to include everything in the table that has this area label style of number only. So it works out perfectly. We'll just check the box next to apply for number only, and it will place all of those parcels in the table. Now you might be wondering, what's the center column for? Well, I can make a choice here as to whether I want to add existing parcels, ones that exist right now, versus existing and new, the ones that exist now plus any that I create in the future. That's what this option is all about. For now, we'll just let this be add existing because we've created all the parcels we're going to create in this drawing, and we're happy with that where it is. We've also got some options here to split the tables into multiples so that you don't end up with one big long table. So you can see here we're maxing out at 20 rows per table, 3 tables per stack. Just kind of remember those numbers with an offset of 0.5 inches. All right, so how is that going to work out in the tables themselves? I think it's easier to see it once we've created the tables. So to do that, I'll click OK. Pick a point in the drawing for the upper left corner, and the tables are created. So now, since we were just there, let's talk about all that tiling stuff. Here's our maximum 20 rows. You can see this goes 1 through 20. And remember the tables per stack was 3, so here's 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. So it's broken the tables up into these 20 row 3 table stacks. And then remember the other setting was what's the gap between them, and that was 0.5 inches. So that's this gap right here. So obviously you can control all that stuff to get just the table layout that you want. Now, tables are dynamic, and that makes them really handy. So if we look at this last parcel, which is parcel 151, you'll notice the acreage is 0.35. Well, if I go over to parcel 151 and let's say I make a change to it, like move this parcel line, we would expect the acreage to get much larger. So let's see if that is in fact the case. Now parcel 151 is 0.49 acres. The table dynamically responds to changes in the drawing. So as you can see, creating an area table is quite easy. And if that isn't easy enough, the tables are even dynamic, meaning that they update automatically when parcels are added or changed. Imagine how much time that saves.